Hi everyone, Ginette Biro here, helping you make sense of life within the world of spirit and woo so that you can connect deeper to your higher self and purpose. Now, I had a really beautiful question that I have lived through myself, and I know there's a lot of you that have, and this goes out to all the moms, any caregivers really. And the question was, how do I make time for my spiritual practice when I have kids, little kids around? How do I ensure that I'm still growing and not turning into anger or resentment because of that block? Now, this is such a great question. It's a very real question. And I'm so glad it was brought up, because in the role of a caregiver, I always really believe that from spirit to when we are in roles as caregivers, we are divinely placed in that role at that time. Even if it just happens upon us, or if it is planned, we are divinely placed in that role at that time. And so what happens is the spirit world will adjust accordingly to what you have space for the most part. Again, this is general. There are different individual cases, but the universe will adjust. So what I mean by that is focusing on where you can carve out little bits of time for little bits of spiritual practice is good for the time being, because remember that the phase that you're in right now, where it's really demanding, isn't going to last forever, and the spirit world knows that. And so an example of this is after both of my kids were born, I remember there was about a 6-month period where I barely got anything from spirit. They just backed way off. And when I asked them, like, guys, what's going on? They're like, we're giving you time to be human, like just human, just mom, get used to this new role, get used to this way of life, and we will come back in, don't worry. And eventually they did. They absolutely did. They stepped back in, and then I got pregnant with my next child, had her, same thing. They stepped back and then they came back in. And spirit will do this through different phases in our lives as well. So I say that because don't ever fear that they're not there, or that you're going to lose it, or that you're not giving enough to your spiritual practice. If you are busy taking care of other little ones right now, that is your purpose right now, and you can carve out little bits of time, even 5 minutes, to tune in and meditate for yourself. 5 minutes. Even sometimes 5 minutes where they're busy playing and you know they're good for even 2 minutes, and you go into the washroom and you just either sit on the counter or sit on the side of the tub, and you sit and you breathe and you just tune into your heart. We think that sometimes that's not enough, but that makes a big difference. Little things like that really help. Journaling at night before you go to bed, tuning into your energies even for 2 minutes, tuning into spirit for 2 minutes before you go to bed. Or if you're nursing, sometimes when you're nursing can be a beautiful time to tune into spirit and see what's going on, and you may get something and you may not. So there's these little pockets of time where you don't have to exert a ton of energy, but you can just do a quick tune in to either yourself or spirit, see what's there, see what you get, and then carry on with your day, remembering that this is a phase right now. This phase will pass, and you will come to a time where your world opens up to a bit more personal time, and you can dive into greater practices right now. So anytime you find that you either are getting to the point of resentment, frustration, or anger, that's just a call for you to step back a little bit and surrender to the timing of your life right now. Give whatever kind of energy you can to your spiritual practice. Again, even if it's the 30 seconds or 1 minute while you're washing your hands, that can be a spiritual practice. The warm water, the soap, the cleansing smells, whatever kind of essential oils may be in your soap, that can be a moment where you cleanse your energy, reconnect in with your energy, ask spirit if they have anything for you or anything like that, and you dry your hands and you carry on. Making little tiny practices available that don't take from you but just enrich your heart is ideal. So I hope that helps make sense for all of you moms, caregivers, dads, everybody who's running around with a bunch of little kids everywhere. I feel for you. I'm definitely there with you, and keep trusting the journey. Now, for everything else, do join me at the Ginette Biro podcast or avalonspirit.com.